Live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. As always, you're ready to do this thing. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, man. How you feel, dog?
Look, I got to feel better than you. I'm going to be honest with you because you've been in what, 3 or 4 states in the last 4 days. You know, you're catching a plane, train, an automobile. You know what I mean? Like you're all over. You're like a John Candy movie from the 80s. So I got to be feeling better than you because I've been keeping my butt at home.
Man, my voice is like whack right now. I'm serious. I'm coming out of heat wave. Lowell, Massachusetts, baby. You know, it was awesome, man. I had an awesome time in Lowell, and the show was right on the money. From top to bottom, the show was right on the money. So, like I said, my voice is a little shaky right now, but I still got a lot more to go, man. We got NXT going down tonight, and I got to be ready for that, man.
Hell yeah. You know, coming off a heat wave, it was a great show. You know, I know that your girl, JC Jane, didn't walk out still the TNA champion, but
yeah,
we do have the Trick-N-A champion coming to Reality of Wrestling for Gold Rush on September the 13th, right around the corner at the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena. So, you know what? We still got some NXT TNA representatives, some of Book's favorites, coming to the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena. And it's also Trick's debut at our home arena.
I'm going to tell you right now, you better get your tickets because I just looked online earlier. We had about 20 seats left.
No way.
I'm serious.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I think we got Booker frozen here for a moment, but
there we go.
There he is.
There we go. One of my major sponsors, DSS, should be back inside doing a little bit more construction work, trying to put in a few more seats in there for the fans. So hopefully we'll be able to open up not just a few more seats, but a whole nother section for the people. So I'm excited.
That's going to be great. I mean, Heatwave was great. We're on a run. We're on a roll. But, you know, the story, and I want to talk about Heatwave, of course. I want to talk about Naomi. Congratulations, Naomi. We'll be talking about that. There's some rumors about Jericho maybe coming back to the WWE. Jake Paul and Tank Davis is a fight that's going to happen, Book. I don't know what you feel about that. We still have Canelo Crawford coming out here. Kelly Osbourne is taking swings at Becky Lynch. I love that you brought a quill with you. You couldn't. You did not just bring up a feather pen like it was a normal thing to do. That was so crazy. That was so crazy. For people listening, Booker literally has a feather pen that he is not elaborating on. Why do you have a feather pen?
Why are you messing with me, man? Why are you in my business? Why are you in my business? Can I have a feather pen? Is it okay if I have a feather pen?
I mean, you can have a feather pen. It's just not something people casually bring out. You know what I mean?
Check it out, though. It was smooth, though, wasn't it?
Like you didn't call attention to it. You didn't do like one of these things
No.
where you were shaking it up. You just went straight to it. It's crazy. But what I was going to ask you is, you know, to transition as seriously as we can from a feather pen, a quill, is the issue that happened over the weekend with Knox Pro and Raja Jackson, the son of Quentin Rampage Jackson. It was a show where Quentin Rampage's son, Raja, took kind of business into his own hands, if you want to even call it that. He assaulted another wrestler, Psycho Stu, who, according to CBS Sports, is stable but in critical condition after an in-ring attack that he suffered. The video has been shared so many times. Everybody's weighed in on this from all sorts of news sources. Allegedly or reportedly, Knox Pros had their ID designations stripped from them, or at least the mentions are not on social media anymore of their affiliation with the ID program. Scary sight to see, Book. I don't know what your initial reactions were to it.
I mean, my initial reactions is just like everybody else that is of sound mind. Same thing they thought about it. I thought it was I thought it was an egregious act. I thought it was a aggravated assault, at the least. And I thought that and I think anybody who had a part of that should take a little bit of part of the blame. It's that simple. I mean, Jackson, the kid, of course he's going to have a lot of blame to atone for. But whoever had him in there, they're going to take a lot of the blame as well. This was something that shouldn't have happened all across the board. No way this should have happened. My thing is this: I've had a wrestling school for 20 years. I've been running shows for, quite some time, and this has, not come close to actually ever happening in the ring. Just because me as a wrestling fan, as a kid, I always knew what wrestling was. Ever since I was a little bitty kid, watching it with my grandfather in Louisiana on the sofa, literally when I was 5 years old, I knew what wrestling was. I knew it was entertainment. I knew these guys wasn't in there trying to kill each other. And then when I saw that, it was something totally different. And for young Jackson not to know that this is entertainment, that's definitely going to be on him, and he's going to have to, hold responsibility to that. But whoever put him in the ring, they should have knew. They should have fair well knew. One thing about this business is safety first. One thing I noticed when I saw the video was Psycho Stu gave him his body.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't fight against it when he was up there on the shoulders of young Jackson. You know what I mean? He took the bump, and the bump was so devastating it knocked him out. Okay, now I don't know if that was supposed to be the angle, such as Rampage Jackson back in the day, with the big knockout from the big slam and the guy going to sleep. I don't know if they were trying to reenact that or not, but if that was the case, the match should have been over with right there.
Yeah.
Okay, all the extra added, blows to an unconscious guy, even if the guy wasn't unconscious, after he got hit a few times, he was unconscious. So it's a lot of blame to go around here. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't condone it, no way, shape, form, or fashion. And anybody who is condoning it, there again, that's something that they're gonna have to live with. But for me, I just thought it was an egregious act.
Yeah, and I also agree that whomever gave Raja the green light to go in and be involved in this from a physical aspect, they do share in the responsibility and the blame for this. It should have never happened. In times that I know at Reality of Wrestling where we've had wrestlers involved in angles, it's always done from a very structured standpoint. It's always rehearsed, gone through, talked about, double, triple, quadruple checked, and not even just for our non-wrestlers, for our performers alike, for our wrestlers alike. Everything's done from a safety perspective. And that's just bare minimum rule number one of this industry. And Psycho Sid's or Psycho Stu, excuse me, his safety was not looked after in that moment. And thankfully the boys went and covered and got him off there as quick as they could. But it was a frightening sight.
I mean, we've had several, rappers, guys that come in and do stuff.
Mike Jackson.
Mike Jackson, Maven hadn't been in the ring in years, and our biggest concern was Maven not going out there and pulling a hamstring, getting in the ring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to make it's always safety first,
right?
In these aspects. And for Psycho Stu, there again, I've heard mention that Psycho Stu got beat up, and that right there is just totally something Um, it's just wrong. It's just wrong all the way across the board because I didn't see Psycho Stu throw a punch. Okay, I saw that guy give his body up and get knocked out and almost get his life taken away from him to where he ended up in the hospital in critical condition. And now, if anybody think that's right, and because I've given my body up to a lot of guys, and one time I gave my body up to a guy and I got my bell rang and I was out for 3 months straight. 3 months. And you know what? My brother wanted to kill the guy. My brother wanted to kill him. And this was inside the square circle in a WCW ring, and it was something that was done. I don't know. I don't think the guy did it on purpose, but he definitely didn't know what he was doing. And if he would have added some extra punches to me, it would have been nothing I could have done about it. In the situation that I was in. So I just say, when in this business, when we're giving up our bodies, you got to be in there with someone who knows exactly what they're doing, because it's all about taking care of the guy that you're in there with. Being able to go to this and do this again, hopefully another day. And I pray for the dude. I pray for Stu to get better and get back in the ring. And I feel like Roger Jackson, he's in a bad position too. He's in a really bad position because I don't think he woke up that morning thinking that he was going to be in a position like he is right now, dealing with police, dealing with lawyers, DAs and all that kind of stuff. Lawyers. It's going to be. This is just the beginning of the fallout of this situation.
It is, and it's a travesty all the way around, and it should have never happened because it was 100% preventable. Something like this was preventable from happening. So, again, we hope Psycho Stu recovers as quickly as possible, and that he's all good. He's a member of the fraternity, so we always want to make sure that they're doing well. But we got to take a break. I know we're going to talk about more here inside the Hall of Fame. Back in a minute.
Stick around, guys. You're in the hall. We'll be back in a minute.
Fellas, let's talk about confidence. The kind of confidence that counts when it's time to step up and deliver. And that's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets designed to help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer-lasting erections. We're talking about getting in the game and staying in it.
And you know what they say, man. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And with Blue Chew, you can take these chewables anytime, day or night. So you're always good to go when the opportunity strikes. And the best part, the entire process is done online. No doctor's visits, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy.
Ooh, yeah, and Blue Chew is putting their money where their mouth is, offering you a whole month for free. It's simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com and consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once approved, you'll receive your prescription delivered discreetly right to your door, made in the USA and ready to go when you are.
Now, Brad, let's get real. Does it work, man? They'll mistake you for a soldier at full salute. You'll be pitching a tent like a true Eagle Scout, man. Blue Chew won't stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. That's the mission, dog.
And listen, confidence is key, especially when you're all bricked up. There's nothing sexier than a man who's ready to go. And at BlueChew.com, they can help bring that energy when it matters most. Don't miss out on what could be the best night of your life. Make life easier by getting harder. Discover your options at BlueChew.com, and we've got a deal just for our listeners. Try your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com, use the promo code Booker, and there's more details and important safety information. And as always, we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast.
Oh, yeah, man.
Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, baby. Like I said, there's a whole lot to talk about. Heat wave, definitely something that we got to talk about. But you got something. I mean, you're making all kind of noise over there.
I'm just checking my my notes here. Trying to figure out where I want to.
That's a damn shame, man. That's a damn shame. You just can't let me have one up, can you? You had to go 5-2 in the break, right? What is that damn feather pen?
I know I got one around here somewhere. Where the hell is that thing? I'm checking every drawer. You know what I mean? I'm looking in the bookshelf. Where did I put this?
Oh, that's a damn shame. I like this pen, though. It's nice.
I know you do. I can tell.
It's got a nice feel. I'm gonna have it on TV with me tonight too.
Please do. Please have it on television. That'll make my day.
Oh shoot, man.
So there are a few other things. Obviously, Heat Wave. What were the big themes from Heat Wave? Obviously, we saw Oba go out there and still be Oba. I love, by the way, our Canadian Dream Team we got going on. You know, Chelsea Green has really added to that for Ethan Page, in my opinion. It's a really fun duo. What are your thoughts on what we saw from Heat Wave in those names specifically?
I mean, Ethan and Chelsea definitely bring the entertainment value to the show. Ethan is a guy; he's got a lot of talent. I said it from the beginning how much this guy brought to NXT and how much he made NXT so much better. I was just talking about it last night that this is a guy that's got main roster potential. Like right now, I really think he fits in just because he's smart. He's such a smart dude. And then, working with Tyra May and Tavion, trying to get these young guys to rub. Trying to give these young guys, a feel of, what it really means to be in that type of situation right there. Chelsea's come so far from tough enough. She really has. And the thing is, she cut her teeth the hard way, man. She didn't just get the nod. I mean, she went out there and worked her butt off to get to that position to become the first United States champion, first women's United States champion. She worked her butt off to actually get put in that position. So I give her a lot of props. But what they're doing together, like I say, giving the young guys a rub is pretty awesome. I love the Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, Lola Vice match. Because that match right there, it has so many different dynamics, man. Anybody could have won that match, and you would have bought it. I thought that match was won on points. I thought Jada Parker won on points. And then Lola Vice just happened to be in the right place at the right time. So it just had so many different dynamics to it. Of course, Oba and Javon Evans, man, that young kid, man,
He's great.
Like I say, he's going to be multi-time champion, in this company. But, he's just going to have to wait his turn, and he's going to have to feel a little bit more pain before that happens. but I think it's going to happen for him. It's just Oba's time right now. And Oba's having a hell of a run, man. And but even Jordan Grace and Monica
I was about to say.
I'm just playing Blake Monroe. That match right there, Blake showed me that she definitely belongs, bro. I mean, she's top tier talent. I had never really watched her work before. I'm serious. I mean, when she was, out and about, I had never really watched her work. But that night at Heat Wave, on Sunday night, she went out and showed me that she is a top tier talent, man. I don't know what she trained at, but she definitely has a knack and an eye for this business. And I'm a Blake Monroe fan going forward. I call her the mega blood bombshell. That's what she is with me. Feel me? I mean? She's not just your average. What I mean? She got something. She got a little something extra.
She does have a little something extra. Obviously, I like Blake Monroe, what she's doing. I'm a big fan of Jordan Grace too. I kind of expected Jordan Grace to have a little bit more of a established run already in NXT. It seems like maybe they're keeping her on the back end right there for now until it's time to bring the flames. Yeah,
she's got to feel more pain as well. That's what it is.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But I like that match. Going back to Lola Vice, what do you think about Lola Vice getting that win and now she's next in line?
I like it. Like I say, either one of the women could have won last night. I mean,
I'm a
excuse me,
big
Sunday
Kalani
night.
Jordan fan too.
I mean, Sunday night. Either one of the women, they could have won. I mean, they went out and they rocked it. They really did. They went out and every one of them was special in that match. Everybody played their roles so damn well. Everybody was in the right positions, and I watched it as a fan. Not just, sitting there at the desk. I watched it as a fan, and I was so freaking caught up in that match and what the ladies was delivering from a wrestling perspective, from a realistic perspective, and then from an entertainment perspective, all wrapped in one. And for me, from the educated eye, I was like, God dang it, man! I wish those are the type of matches I need my girls at Reality Wrestling to be watching, because this is what I'm going to need you to go out there and produce every single time. Beautiful work. Beautiful work.
Yeah, it was quite everybody there on Heatwave from top to bottom. It was a sensational show. It was a sensational show, and NXT continues to level up. I don't know if you got to see any of AEW Forbidden Door, because I know that y'all were paired up against them.
No, I didn't see any of it.
So I'm just going to ask you one question. You didn't see the gummy bear spot?
No, tell me about the gummy bear spot, please.
I don't know if I can do it justice. You know what I mean? I don't know if I can do the gummy bear spot justice.
Well, damn it, you brought it up, so I want to hear it.
Well, so the Young Bucks they were in a steel cage, lights out steel cage match, which means no rules. And they went to grab the sack, and we all thought it was a sack of tacks. And then they dumped the sack out, and it was gummy bears instead of tacks. And then they did a bunch of spots around the gummy bears.
Wait a minute. The question is, did they sell the gummy bears?
They sold them. Oh, yeah, brother. The gummy bears got sold, brother. They got sold. They bumped on them. They put them in their mouth, paws. The gummy bear spot. It was in a steel cage match, which
hey man,
we've always seen.
Look here, I've said it before. AEW is trying to change the way people look at professional wrestling. I really don't look at AEW as, that's why, you asked me if I watched it. No, I didn't watch it, because it's that right there is perhaps one of the reasons I would not watch an AEW show. I can honestly sit here and tell you. I can honestly sit here and tell you right now that I've never watched the AEW show. All right, I've watched bits and pieces, but and a lot of that has been on the internet. I've never sat and watched a show because of stuff like that. And like I said, me personally, I don't want to change the way people look at professional wrestling, because it is a beautiful, beautiful sport, a beautiful art. When you look at it properly. I got a chance to go and see Hamilton, and on Broadway this weekend. And man, what a show! What a show! Those guys went out there and they worked their butts off to bring that thing to life and really make me feel a certain way. At certain points, I almost had a tear come out of my eye a couple of times, twice. A tear almost came out. I had to hold it back. That's how I felt about that play when I walked away from it. I will never feel that way walking away from an AEW show. Never. Never in a million years.
Well, says about all, doesn't it? Hamilton's a great show. I don't know if I could say the same for Forbidden Door, personally.
I know that was a damn good comparison right there, too, wasn't it?
It was a nice analogy that you made.
It was a nice soliloquy.
I liked it.
Soliloquy.
I liked it.
Yeah. No, man, but what a play, man. What a play. You ever get a chance, guys, you're up in New York City, you get a chance to go see Hamilton. I recommend it, highly recommend you go and see it, especially if you got a little girl, that's often that type of art. I'd love for my daughter to see it, because it definitely is going to take you to that place. And then just to understand the history, you know what I mean, was very, very awesome to see as well.
It's coming to Houston, I believe, at the Hobby Center soon. So that's something for everyone in our Houston audience to check out. But Book, we got more to talk about, but we do have to. We're up against a break here.
You in the hall, baby. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey, this is Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Fame. I got something for you guys, man. Look, when I was a kid, man, cereal was my jam. But now, since I'm a grown man, I'm looking for something that gives me more than just a sugar rush and carbs, man. That's when I found Magic Spoon. Look, it's a cereal that gives you the taste of your childhood favorites, but without sugar and packed with tons of protein.
And if you're already a fan of Magic Spoon, then you need to listen up to this because I've got some big news. Magic Spoon has taken that amazing cereal that we all love and turned it into high-protein treats. These new treats are light, they're crispy, and they become my go-to snack, especially before or even after the gym.
Yeah, man, every serving of Magic Spoon cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and only 4 grams of net carb. That fruity and cocoa flavor are the classic ones, but there's a whole lot more to try, man.
And those new treats, they've got 12 grams of protein and come in flavors like marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter. Perfect when you're on the go or you need a quick snack to fuel up before that workout.
Yeah, man, I keep a box in my gym bag, but it's a great late night snack as well. Those treats have that crispy texture, great taste, and the macros that make you feel good about eating them.
So Magic Spoon's bringing back those nostalgic flavors, but without all the stuff that we don't want. So if you want to try it for yourself and get $5 off your next order, go to magicspoon.com/HOF. That's magicspoon.com/HOF. Or you can even find it on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store.
That's magicspoon.com/HOF for $5 off. Magic Spoon, hold on to the dream.
Boom, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. I know we probably got some super chatters, man. We're going to be getting to in a bit. You know, talk to me about that.
Yeah, we will be getting to some super chatters again. If you have anything you want to super chat in, make sure you go ahead and do that here before we have this segment and next. So get those super chats in. But I want to get your reaction to, I think a congratulations is in order for Naomi. Naomi announced that she and Jimmy are with child. Or are we doing it with the feather pin?
Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah. Yeah.
So she had to relinquish the championship, which also it's unfortunate because she was in such the midst of a great run with her character, but obviously incredibly fortunate that she and Jimmy, after all this time, are actually going to have a child. I know they've been trying for a little bit of time, and they thought maybe it wasn't going to be possible. So we're going to have another member of the bloodline running around there. So that's good for them. But Stephanie Vauquer's match at Clash in Paris seems to now have been postponed. It was going to be her and Naomi for the title. That seems to now be off of the card in Paris. Stephanie Vauquer maybe has to wait just a little bit longer, but it looks like they want to put the rocket on Stephanie and just give her the title right now.
Put the title on it. Put the title on it right now. You know, put the rocket on it. Send her ass straight to the moon. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's money. It's money because Stephanie is a crossover star, man. She crossed all barriers. You know what I mean? I mean, all nations. She pretty much checks off. And when you see her in the ring, you say, "What?" When you see her in the ring, you go, "Man, she's good. She's really good." And she's striking. She's striking at the same time. But it's not one of those strikings to where you go, it's just like bam in your face. You don't see it until you see it with Stephanie Vauquer. I'm gonna tell you, man, she's gonna be one of those stars that is gonna be remembered for a very, very long time. I think she's got like a Hall of Fame like aspirations. Her work, like I say, in ring for me is second to none. It really is. Her timing is uncanny. Her positioning is uncanny. So for me as a coach, I give me 10 Stephanie Vauquers.
Yeah, well, you ain't lying there. But yeah, no, as what you just said, she's got Hall of Fame potential all over. And you can already tell how the audience is reacting to Stephanie Vauquer when she comes out of Monday Night Raw. She's obviously a huge star. Now, when you look towards that women's division on Raw, you have Rhea, obviously Io, Roxanne Perez, who's doing great, Stephanie Vaquer. I know you don't like booking the show, but who do you think would get the rocket strapped on them and be the new champ if you so deemed it appropriate?
You know, I try not to be biased, man, but I mean, Roxanne got so much going for her right now. She really does.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that just because she's one of my students or anything like that, but she's got, I mean, such an upside to be in that position and really make fans really, really hate her and take that thing to another level and then put another mark on her career as well, because she's done so much in so little of time in that company, and that's all. And trust me, it's not by accident or anything like that. It didn't happen by osmosis. I mean, it's been planned from day one for Roxanne to go out there and be one of the best women wrestlers that this business has ever seen. And she always knew she wasn't going to be able to outpower, anybody like, one of the bigger girls, out there, that wasn't going to happen, her go out there and, outdo a real Ripley, that's not going to happen. But just like for myself, I knew I wasn't as good as a lot of those guys on the roster. But that's when you got to be smart. You got to be smarter than all the guys on the roster. And that's what Roxanne, her IQ is so high as a wrestler. I would love to see her in that position. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you cannot speak highly enough about Io Sky because her IQ is literally off the chart for this business. She's like in the laboratory thinking up and cooking up stuff that nobody's ever thought of or heard of or seen before. She is so freaking good in that ring, man. It's like the wind. You can feel it, but you can't touch it. You know what I mean? But you know it's there. Io Sky got all of that, man. You know what I mean? She's so universal. And I can talk about these girls all day, man, because the ladies right now, man, they're so freaking good as far as their in-ring acumen goes.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, especially about Io Sky. She's sensational. Roxanne Perez. Can you imagine, though, Roxanne Perez as the women's world champion, and then Liv Morgan comes back from injury, and they get to have their little title feud for that title and Dom and all that stuff? There's so many possibilities you could go with for it. You know what I mean? You see it already. And what's interesting is when Rhea went down, whatever it was, a year ago, that's when we saw Liv really take off in this second run that she's been on, to where she's really been one of the focal points of the women's division. And it would be interesting if, while in her absence, you see, Roxanne or somebody else rock it.
That's a great idea. It's a great idea because, somebody like Liv and Roxanne, they both, it's a great matchup. And one thing about the business, styles make fights. One person winning the title from a certain person opposed to winning it from someone else. Back when Kofi Kingston won it from Daniel Bryan opposed to winning it from, that type of situation. Yeah. Exactly, being in the right situation to win it to where everybody that's watching it go, wow, that was so freaking awesome. And then you do deserve it at the same time, So for me, man, like I said, so many different scenarios that could play out from that situation.
Well, let me ask you this, because we do have Clash in Paris coming up this weekend. It's going to be the last pay-per-view on for WWE main roster pay-per-view on Peacock before they move over to ESPN for WrestlePalooza at the end of next month. The NXT shows will still stream on Peacock through March of next year, from my understanding. But Clash in Paris, there's another women's title match, though, going on that people are talking about. Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella for the women's intercontinental title. Becky Lynch got called out by Kelly Osbourne for making a reference in her promo to her father's passing, Ozzy Osbourne's passing. But there's some heat on this feud. They've really been swinging for the fences. They've been calling each other all kinds of names, going after it. What do you think about Nikki Bella in this new run in her career and Becky Lynch for the IC title?
Bella Bella just couldn't stay away, man. You know what I mean? They had to come back like Lance Armstrong. Get one last bank robbery. You know what I'm saying?
Not where I thought you were going to go, but okay, I'm listening.
Get one last heist. You know what I mean? I get it. That's what the business is all about. But Becky ain't no joke. Becky gonna put Nikki Bella in her place and show her just that's what this new era is all about. We're the new era now. All right.
Hold on now. Look. I know we're coming up against a break, but Nikki Bella, Hall of Famer, longest Divas champion of all time, main evented the first Evolution with an instant classic against Ronda Rousey. Okay, and she came back. She's on a new run, and I think put the title on her. IC title going to happen this weekend. Clash in Paris. Nikki Bella, bring it to the red carpets. Bring it to the podcast. All the shows. Do it now.
You know, I love Nikki Bella, all right?
Me too.
You know what I mean? I know we got to take a break, right?
Yeah.
But and we're coming up on it. But the Edsel was a good car in its day. We Teslas now, man. We riding hands free now. You know what I mean? So I get it. Like I said, I love what Nikki Bella brought to the table. All right, in her day. We talking about Becky. We talking about Becky 2 belts. All right?
You better take your quill and some parchment paper and start writing an apology letter to Nikki Bella for all that crap you're talking. You know what I mean? Do you need some papyrus for your quill? We got to take a break. You're inside the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey, y'all, Booker T here alongside with my main man, Brad Gilmore. And today we're talking about something that could really change the game when it comes to how you get paid.
That's right, Booker, because let's face it, life doesn't just happen every 2 weeks. So why wait for a payday? With EarnIn, the money you've earned already can be in your hands today.
EarnIn is this incredible app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. We're talking about up to $100 per day and up to $750 each pay period.
All you got to do is download the EarnIn app, verify your paycheck, and boom, you can access up to $100 a day as you work. And the cool part, you just leave an optional tip, and any money you access plus the tip gets repaid when your next paycheck rolls in.
You know, Brad, I'm always talking about staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Imagine having that extra cash for that surprise date night, or maybe when you have to take the furry little friend to the vet unexpectedly. You know.
Absolutely, Booker. Or even those times when you need to grab a last-minute gift, or maybe you're a little short on rent, or hey, even you might want to pick up some new gear for yourself or your kids or your lady.
Folks, make EarnIn part of your financial playbook. Join over 3.5 million customers who are finding financial stability and peace of mind thanks to EarnIn.
So don't wait around for a payday. Get your money when you need it and take control of your finances. Download EarnIn today and experience what it's like to access pay on your terms.
Get started with EarnIn now and join the millions who are getting their pay their way. It's time to EarnIn, not just earn. Check it out, man.
Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Getting close to wrapping this thing up, and I know we probably got some super chatters. Or do we got any super chatters?
We do have a few super chatters. Before we get to them, I do want to get your opinion on two other topics.
What is that?
Before we jump in. So, rumors swirling about that at the end of this year, Chris Jericho's contract might be up with AEW, and there's some swirling rumors that he could be on his way back to WWE. This could be negotiation strategy. I don't know. But let's say that he does want to come back to the WWE. Jericho, obviously one of your great all-time opponents, as you said before. You've actually mentioned that I think you said that he, Ray, and Christian are the three I've heard you talk about the most as like guys that you really enjoyed getting into the ring with. in WCW and in WWE. Do you think we see Jericho back inside the WWE prior to his eventual retirement at some point? And if so, what do you feel about that?
You know, I'm not gonna say it's not a probability or anything like that. I don't know if Chris is looking to get back in WWE, but I do know this. I do know this. As a performer, just speaking from myself and my perspective only. When I left WWE and I ended up going to TNA, I knew, I just knew in my heart that I didn't want to end my career that way. I knew I wanted to end my career in WWE and be able to hang my boots up in WWE. I don't know why. I knew I wanted to do that. I don't know if Chris has those same aspirations, or not. You know what I mean? But I've been hearing, like rumors about JR as well.
Oh, really?
That JR's contract is coming up, and that he perhaps just rumored that he may be one to finish his career in the WWE. I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that. JR put so much work in, and his voice is on so many soundtracks in the WWE with so many great wrestlers, so many great matches. So yeah, I can see someone like Jericho coming back, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, but I can see him coming back.
I'm a big Chris Jericho fan historically, and we've had him on this show before a few times. He's always been a great guest. I've been on his show as a view. He's a great dude. So I would like to say WWE for selfish purposes, but we'll see. We'll see what it is, because you mentioned Jericho, Christian, a couple other names, Rey Mysterio, as some of your great opponents in WWE. John Cena recently said guys like CM Punk and Randy and Edge and Cody Rhodes even were some of his wrestling soulmates, where he just had the instant classic chemistry with those guys. Would you say those three names I mentioned would be your wrestling soulmates? Or there another one that comes to mind where you always just had great matches with this person? Eddie, Chris,
Eddie,
obviously.
I had a lot of great matches with a lot of great guys. I never used that term or anything like that.
It was the first time I had heard it.
Yeah, I never used that term before. Because wrestling for me was just, entertainment. It was a job.
Right.
And, but I worked with a lot of great talent.
Yeah. Well, and then we've mentioned a few of those guys before as some of your best opponents. Let me ask you this now, before we get to our super chats. Jake Paul, Tank Davis, what do you think? It's all the preamble you're getting. What do you think of those guys?
Hey, it's a money grab. All right,
Yeah.
it's a money grab. But these days, people just want to be entertained. We can't think like it's 1975, 1980. When Bob Arum and Don King was the promoters running things. This world has changed a whole lot now, and a lot of it is because of guys like Jake Paul going out there and creating this aura where now the fighter don't need the promoter to actually get paid. It's a hell of a world that we're living in right now. So for me, Tank Davis versus Jake Paul, it's definitely Jake Paul is how much bigger than Tank Davis?
Got to be 70 pounds or more.
Exactly. You know what I mean? This is a hell of a mismatch. Jake Paul shouldn't lose this fight, because he can hold him, and outside Tank's not going to be able to reach him. That's just the way I see it, but anything can happen in the fight. But this is probably going to be Tank Davis's biggest payday in his career. And one thing about Tank Davis, let me put that out there. Tank Davis, I don't think Tank Davis want to fight. I don't think Tank Davis like fight. I really don't. Tank Davis, he's just coming off of, getting arrested not too long ago. I think this guy is looking for a cash out to get up out of the business. That's just my opinion.
He's not somebody who historically likes selling fights. He doesn't like doing the media rounds. He doesn't like building a promotion around him. He just doesn't seem to enjoy the fight either. And you saw that in his last fight, and the build up to that, and Go ahead.
Yeah, him and Roach, it was no build up to that fight, and it seemed like he came in and lackluster. It seemed like he had no ambition to win, and he lost that fight, in my humble opinion. But no, I just don't think Tank Davis really wants to fight, and this could be his cash out moment. That's my opinion.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. That fight's coming to Netflix. Maybe we'll be able to cover it. We'll see what happens. John, JID 999, who's been a member for 21 straight months. We appreciate you, John. With promotions like TNA and NXT and a few of the OVW mainstays trickling in, are there any other promotions that Roe is interested in doing business with?
No.
Pretty easy right there, huh?
Nah, man, reality wrestling, man, we're like Nino Brown and the Cash Money Brothers. We're self-contained units, and we're focusing on the next generation of performers. We're focusing on the young guys that have the ability and the potential to actually get to the next level. So we're not thinking about trying to do a lot of cross promotions where it's about having fun, with guys. It's about, like I say, producing the next generation, the best talent for the next generation.
Yeah, and it's not always about bringing in people and having a super show and bringing in name talent and things like that. I even like the talent that we do bring in from NXT or TNA or what have you. They're also young talent, still on the come up, still on the rise.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you get a Maven every so often. You get a Maven every so often, but that's fun. That's for fun.
Well, what did Maven do in the show? Nothing.
We love you, Maven. Callie Tono says, besides Io and Rio, what other women would you strap the rocket on to take Stephanie Vaquero for the title? I mean, I think we just talked about it. Roxanne Perez is definitely one. Her and Stephanie, oh man, her and Stephanie have some badass matches with each other. I'm trying to think of who else in that Raw women's division makes sense.
I'm trying to put my hat on. I don't know. It's a very,
to me, those are the four women in contention. It's Io, it's Rhea, it's Stephanie, it's Roxanne.
I mean, when you talk about the championship, because that right there is that position where you got to be champion in the ring and out of the ring all the time. You can't. It's like no days off. You got to have your stethoscope on, ready to go to work at any time, at all times of the night. So it's a very sticky situation.
Completely agree. So I'm going to go Roxanne Perez. And then our last one of the day, before we get out of here, this is from D'Angelo Brown. Former WWE wrestler Abraham Washington recently just got out of life support. Booker, did you have any interactions with him when he was a talent? Yeah, I saw that too. Our prayers are with him. Glad that he made it through the other side. That had to be scary. Were y'all there at the same time?
Yeah, we crossed paths. But we didn't have any interactions or anything like that. You know what I mean? But I saw that, I was reading about that, man. God bless him. And, hopefully, he gets well soon. If he's not already back on his feet, because there again, man, life is tricky. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's around the corner. You just got to be prepared as much as you possibly can. I don't quite know his situation. But there again, man, hope he's okay.
Hope he's okay. Prayers are with him. Prayers are with Psycho Stu and all the members of the fraternity who are going through it right now. We're hopefully you can be back as quick as you can, but as slow as you must.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey man, it's been a hell of a thing, man. Hanging this out the Hall of Fame, getting the champagne wishes, caviar dreams. I guess I got NXT later on here tonight. So guys, if you're anywhere near the 2CW, check it out. Your boy be doing it like it's supposed to be done. Me and my boy Vic Joseph, of course. But I want to thank you guys for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Praying for all the heavy lifting, as always. And until next time, guys, peace. We love you. We out.